Expo. I'm Steve Kidd. I'm your moderator this morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the room and all of those people worldwide online to our presentations today. You think back, and it wasn't that many years ago when people said, oh my goodness, we want to thank all those brave young men that went down into the mines and worked so hard. And what's going on today in the industry, it's become, look at all those bright young women and men with all those skills that have improved mining to where it is today, and our future is very, very bright. So without further ado, our first presenter is Dan Gauthier, who's the business line manager with Sandvik Mining and Rock Solutions, and his theme is making the shift for a sustainable future. He'll be talking about things like waste management, drilling, maintenance of equipment, and digitization of mining. But I'm not going to get into that. That's his job. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Gauthier.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? So thank you for joining me this morning. My name is Dan Gauthier, as was mentioned. I've been with Sandvik for almost 4 years, focusing on the drilling tools and consumables part of the business. I'm thrilled to be here to touch on some topics that will lead us towards sustainability. I'd like to preface the talk by acknowledging that there is an array of products being developed by the industry in the pursuit of becoming more efficient. From equipment that operates on its own, to drills that consume less fuel, and to down-the-hole hammers who consume less air, that are lighter and work in tandem with equipment to reduce CO2 emissions. But I won't be talking about those things today. What I will cover is the digital side of the business and how that can help drive efficiencies, reduce waste, and lead operations towards a more sustainable outcome. So I ask you, what is a sustainable mine? I think that there are several perspectives to this. In our view, it is a mine that leverages the following: electrification, automation, data and analytics, as well as end-to-end optimization. Furthermore, we could say that circularity drives sustainability. Over the past several years, we've been putting together a suite of digital tools and services to support the mines of today, as well as the mines of tomorrow. Our Deswick, along with our Optimine and Automine offerings, deliver an end-to-end optimization solution. While these cover the large-scale work being tackled in mines, some things are not as obvious. For the purpose of today's talk, I'd like to call your attention to an area that is sometimes overlooked, but can have tremendous impact on an operation's costs, but also on its sustainability effectiveness. Drilling tools are the bits and the rods that percuss against the rock when drilling holes. This commodity group makes up a small percentage of a mine's total spend, but can have a tremendous influence on its overall performance. Our estimates are that rock tools make up around 5 to 7% of a mine's total cost per meter, but can have a significant impact on the overall effectiveness of the process by affecting drilling speed and hole straightness. More than that, waste drives costs up, but also has a clear effect on circularity and thus sustainability. We'll begin with Track, a digital tool we've developed to support drilling operations on several fronts. Track has been deployed globally. It has been proven to capture, optimize, and help our customers in outperforming their own status quo. The platform operates a suite of functionality which includes inventory management for consumables, helping users visualize their spend and areas of waste. It also monitors product performance, allows us to help make better decisions on item selection to deliver optimal tool life. By identifying underperforming drills, we can help work with operators to fine-tune their drill recipes in order to improve performance. Understanding discard and failure reasons can help adapt to potential issues quickly and thus minimizing downtime and waste. And then leveraging insights to help operations with financial and production planning. We'll examine the screens that set up animations. Unfortunately, that won't be available for this presentation. We'll start with the summary screen. The summary screen really allows the user to view their operations from a rock tool spend perspective over a select period of time. The cursor can hover over a variety of outputs to help the reviewer examine tool spend, meters drilled, 3 months rolling average, target cost per meter. With this information, both the user and supplier can drill down further to examine areas of concern while toggling from month to month. Filters can also be employed to change views by application, by drill rig, and even alter the time period being considered. With a detailed view, we can examine consumption over a specified period and get a sense of why tools are being discarded and which drills tend to consume the most tools. Again, similar to the previous screen, the user can toggle between several different aspects in order to understand where their consumption is, allowing the mind to make very important decisions on whether or not to drive specific actions with either drills or people to help change, adjust, or adapt to a situation at site. Additionally, waste categories can be selected to better understand why tools are being discarded, as well as determining whether or not there's an opportunity to provide more training to operators and or rig users. When we look at discards, they're broken down into different categories. And they help us understand what we are consuming the most of, as well as where and why the tools are being discarded. This helps us identify trends over a period of time, as well as taking corrective action. While there are typically several reasons for suboptimal tool life, there are times when operators need some support with consumables management, and this is where the drill application comes in. Drill is a platform supported by our specialists to help operators better understand how certain parameter changes will impact drilling and consumable performance, as well as tool life in various ground conditions. The training can be conducted face-to-face or remotely, and the overall aim is to reduce waste. The training package can include theory, which basically details rock tools theory, explaining the function of rock tools usage and how to maximize productivity. The application supports all of our tool lines, but I would consider the platform to be brand agnostic, meaning that it doesn't matter whose tools are being consumed at site. the training and the simulation can help drive the right behaviors with the operators. It should be noted that this does not replace drill training simulators, but would behave in a complementary fashion. An operator can learn how to use the equipment and then follow suit in terms of managing the tools. Our Analyze application helps us address unique geographical situations. With sustainability in mind, we offer this app to Sandvik bit customers at remote locations where it is not always possible to have someone visit regularly or quickly. The app itself can be used on phone or tablet to capture images of bits that can be then uploaded. Once uploaded, a discard or failure analysis can be generated without having to ship the product back or having an external expert visit the site, thus helping to prevent or at least minimize future waste while being mindful of unnecessary travel and or freight impacts. Again, with the CO2 guidance in mind. Now, all I've shared with you so far has been designed with the intent of minimizing waste while helping the industry become much more productive, thus forming sustainability. But what happens when the consumables are run to their full life? How do we address what remains? Historically, bits and steel would be discarded at site and left underground without any consideration. But in recent years, we've been actively recovering discarded consumables from willing mines to recycle used drill bits. This process involves collecting the bits over a period of time and then shipping them to a regional center, in our case, in the US. We in turn repay the mine a value per kilo for all of the carbide recovered. It doesn't matter whose product it is, we are committed to driving circularity in the industry. We are now on the verge of launching a local reclamation program. This will further enhance existing recycling programs offered by us and others. Instead of gathering discarded bits and shipping them to a regional reclamation center, thus consuming additional fuel, generating additional CO2, we will now manage this process locally to minimize transportation while also creating low-skilled employment opportunities in the surrounding communities. In the process, the carbides will be reclaimed and returned to our production facilities to be reintegrated into our manufacturing chain. What won't be returned will be the steel bit bodies. Those will be locally recycled, and the proceeds will be used to fund local programs. As you can see on screen here, the impact can be quite substantial to the environment, but also to our users who have targets to achieve as well. While the numbers you see are quite impressive, the impact for Canada, for example, could be somewhere around 250 fewer tons of steel transported across the country in just the first year of implementation. And that's really us applying a factor of 60% reclamation for all of the tools that we sell across Canada. If we can do this and leverage what is being sold into the market by others, that number could grow exponentially. Further, using recycled carbide, whose properties are the same as freshly mined, reduces CO2 emissions by more than 64%. That, to me, is a true leap in towards sustainability and circularity. Suppliers are actually taking ownership and driving circularity with operations and working together for what can be a very sustainable future. In closing, I'm not here to sell anything other than the notion that operating with a sustainability mindset should not come at a cost. But really, we should be reminded that there is a cost by not doing so. Thank you.